Alright. Let's see. Okay. Yay, we're here! Yeah. So, here's our live stream. Here we are. Alright. Well, Happy New Year's, everyone. I hope it's been pretty good so far for everybody. I hope we're getting some good resolutions in there. Alright. Yay! Alright. Okay, so tonight we have kind of a fun live stream planned. Obviously it is New Year's, so that's kind of really fun. Sorry if it looks like I'm like fiddling with something. I'm just trying to get my like camera thing so I can see everything I need to see. Alright. Yay! Okay, there we go. That looks good. Now I can see everything. And I can see the chat. Okay. So, let's see. So, first things first, I hope everyone's having a really good New Year so far. It was a really crazy 2019. I'm so tired. It was a really crazy year for me. I just finished, finals, holiday season in retail. So I'm definitely happy and just really relieved to be sitting down. It's very, very refreshing. Trying to make sure I have everything I want to talk about. Okay. Here we go. So, I think I have everything here I want to talk about. So, I kind of wanted to start with kind of a little recap of Christmas and Yule and all sorts of fun things. I didn't end up getting to my Yule video, and I'm really sorry, you guys. I know definitely a couple of you were really excited for a Yule video, so I'm definitely bummed that I didn't end up getting to put that out, but I ended up having to work on Yule, and finals happened, and I just couldn't conceive of making it work with everything, so there was no Yule video, and I'm really sorry. But basically, I am going to try to at least make a video for the next Sabbath coming up, which I'm looking at my calendar. I believe the next one is in bulk, so I'll try to have something fun up for you guys then. Worst comes to worst, I'll be very free, so I can always pre-record it and make sure it goes up on time. So it should be the Wednesday before in bulk, which, if I can check my app real quick, it should be, let me find out what day that should be. Consulting the handy dandy calendar. So Imbolc is the 2nd of February, it would appear. So that should be out the 29th of January. So you can look forward to that. That is basically a whole month away still. but I definitely want to make sure I have something up this time so that you guys can have a nice Sabbath video. I definitely want to start making videos about the Sabbath so you guys can learn a little bit more about the traditions and how to celebrate and all sorts of good stuff. But basically, this year I had a few new people join me in celebrating Yule, so I basically had to explain Yule presents, or at least Yule presents as they were explained to me. Yule presents aren't necessarily like a commercial thing. Like, I feel like nowadays Christmas is more of a, hey, I bought this because I was thinking of you, whereas most of the Yule presents I see are handmade, or just like a bunch of little things, not necessarily like something you've asked for. It's more so, I feel like they're usually more thoughtful gifts, like more like heartfelt sort of things. But they're very little. They're not usually as grand as Christmas presents. They're usually just a little something, which is nice. I am just making sure everyone is joining us on the live stream. I still do not really have a handle on the whole live stream thing. I feel like I'm always unprepared every single time, and I feel like I'm always last minute on Instagram like, hey guys, I'm up. I'm on live stream. So if you see me looking at my phone, that is what I am doing. I am making sure everyone knows that we are on live stream so that we can have some chat going. My chat is usually pretty quiet. I occasionally once had someone asking me questions, which was refreshing. But anyway, now we can give everyone the opportunity to come in, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I wanted to start off like I usually do with what I'm reading right now, which I have right in front of me. So I was lucky enough to get 2 versions of this book, and I can't for the absolute life of me remember where I put the other one. Oh, I think it's right here. Okay, wonderful. Now I have more books. So these 2 are essentially the same book. I got both of these for Christmas. My best friend got me one of these, and my boyfriend's mom got me the pocket version, which is super handy because when I'm traveling, I occasionally go to crystal shows with one of my friends, or like craft fair sort of things with one of my friends, so sometimes I bring along or lend her some books. So this is super helpful because I don't have to bring along a big book, although I did end up getting her this book for Christmas actually, so she will have this for all of her crystal shows, which is super fun. This book is definitely one I would recommend if you're getting into crystals and that kind of thing. I had the first edition of this, but when the second edition came out, I had to have it, so this was gifted to me by my lovely friend, and I in turn gave her the first edition, so we kind of swapped. So I have this wonderful thing, and it talks about something really cool, and it talks about crystal grids and how to essentially set up a crystal grid, which is really interesting because I feel like people don't really teach you how you're supposed to kind of set it up. It's usually people just kind of say to do it intuitively, but there is kind of a right way to do it. So it's really neat. They talk about, you know, what you should put where, what you should have, like the different like quartz points and all sorts of things. So, and then by keyword, what you should use for that keyword, or what are things you could use for that keyword. So, definitely very, very interesting. I definitely at some point want to get a goddess crystal. I think I might have one, and basically what that means is that you have a shape that looks something like that on one of the faces, which is really neat. I think I may have one, but that being said, I am not entirely sure. But it is very interesting to see like what the different facets of crystals mean. There definitely are some meaning to that, which is very cool. So yeah, I definitely recommend this one. I also got the little pocket version, which is the same thing. This doesn't have the space to write in it though. This one has a like little journaling section, which is really super neat. So I have those. I did end up getting for myself the Essential Guide to Crystals. This is another one. I kind of like using these together because I find that that's good if you want to know about a specific crystal, whereas for identifying unknown crystals, this one comes more in handy. Basically, I like this one for identifying crystals because it goes by color. So you can just search by color and open to the one that looks like it. And then you know what you have, which is really handy because sometimes you don't know what you have. The other one goes alphabetically, so that's more useful if you know what you have. And then I ended up getting, also from my boyfriend's mom, I got this one, which is the Real Witches of New England. It's basically, you know, history, lore, and modern practice. So it talks about, you know, the history of Salem and the witch trials, and talks a little bit about, like modern things like Sabbaths, which is really neat. I haven't really gotten to look through this yet, so I'm not entirely sure if I recommend this yet, or if I really like it, but it does look very interesting so far, and for someone who definitely likes to go to Salem a lot and who practices, not necessarily Wicca, but like witchcraft and paganism, I find this very interesting. So this is definitely going to be my next read, and I will definitely update you guys and tell you if I liked this. I'm very excited. So I did get a bunch of other things. I got a really neat tarot deck. from one of my best friends, and this was really cool because the cards are double-sided, which I've never seen in a deck before. So I have a monochrome side and a colorful side, and each one has its own meaning. So it's sort of like reversed cards in tarot cards, except it has its own separate meaning, not necessarily reversed, which is super interesting. And so you can pull one side or the other, and that can also be reversed. So it's like an extra layer of meaning, and it's just really interesting. I don't typically do a lot of reverse cards only because I find it's hard for me to shuffle in a way that if I reverse them, I don't unreverse them. So it will just, that one card, if I reverse it, will stay reversed in my deck forever, which isn't totally accurate. So I tend to kind of sometimes take reverse cards with a grain of salt, only because I can never unreverse reversed cards with the way I shuffle. I don't know if that means I just need to shuffle better or what, but I find my cards stay reversed, and it's the strangest thing. But yes, another thing I am very eager to play around with and see if I like. And so far it looks fantastic, but I will play around with this and I will let you guys know. I also got a whole bunch of crystals, both for Christmas and for myself. I got this really cool black kyanite necklace, which is super neat. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it with all of the necklaces I'm wearing. Let's see if this shows up at all. Yeah, it's really cute though. I like it. If I wasn't wearing this one, then you would probably see it better, but it's really cute. But yeah, I ended up getting this. I have a couple quartz points from my friend who runs White Mountain Crystals. I know I've talked about that before. I'll try to link that below for you guys, because I know I have a discount code that she has the stuff. Like, honestly, guys, I could spend all my money. I really could. I also got this really cool pendant. I think it's, I'm not sure where the choker that this goes on is right now, because I think I may have borrowed it for something else, but I got this really cute quartz point that I had on a choker, and it's got a little smoky on it, and I love smoky quartz, but this is like the cutest little one. And I also got one that's like this, but it has a little turquoise piece here, and they're both just super pretty. And I love this like patinaed copper. It's so cool. But these just look really nice. I love like really substantial points. And actually, I think if you go on my Instagram, you can see me wearing the other one of these. But it's just so cool. I love giant quartz points as necklaces. They just look kind of crazy and I love it. But I ended up getting some kunzite, some black kyanite. I got an orange calcite and a carnelian. So, yeah, I also think I got a whole bunch of scrunchies from her. Oh, here they are. Here's my crystals. Oh, I also got this black tourmaline with, I think she said this is morganite, but it's so pretty. I love it. I needed more black tourmaline. Looks like I also got a little desert rose, which is awesome because I don't have any of this yet. Desert rose is so cool, honestly. Anything gypsum based is really interesting. And then we have the giant shard of black kyanite, and I love it. These always look like witches' brooms to me, and I actually see like a lot of jewelry of people making these into brooms, and it's the coolest thing. And then of course calcite, because I love calcite. It's so like silky. And then I also got this really awesome soap. This one is from Plainville Homestead. I really like her stuff. It's all homemade, nice, like, clean ingredients, and it's just so pretty. And it's got a little rose quartz on the top. I ended up getting a bunch of, like, crystal-y type stuff from my sister, too, which is really cool. I got, some ocean kyanite with little snake charms, and I got, what else did she get me? I got little feather earrings with little black jasper beads on them, and she got me some rose quartz pieces as well, which is really fun. I love rose quartz. You can never have enough rose quartz, honestly. But yeah, I also got from White Mountain Crystals these really cool scrunchies, which have crystals in them. This one is adventuring, and then I have a like burgundy one with garnet because I love garnet. But yeah, these are just so fun, and they're so cute. I love scrunchies. Not that they hold my hair terribly well right now because my hair is very short, but honestly, I just love them. They're so fun. Put away some of my crystals. Okay. Alright, so that brings me to the next thing, I guess. So I wanted to talk about something really fun that I'm trying this year, and that is the 28 Days of Beauty Guided Meditation by Molly Roberts. If you're not familiar, this is basically, it's like she calls it like a little cyber temple, which I think is the most perfect way to sum this up. It's basically like a little guided meditation exercise, and there is a whole community of people doing this. There's a Facebook page, so you can kind of track your journey, talk with other people who are doing this, and it's basically just a way to refresh after, maybe a really stressful holiday season, a really stressful year. It's a really great way to kind of hit your stride, hit your stride going into the new year. and just really like refresh and self-reflect. So this is what I am doing. So let's see. Let me see what today's prompt is. So today is day 7. We're a week in. Today's prompt is, what is the most beautiful thing someone has ever said to me or shared with me? So that's a really cute one. I like that. But there are other really like thought-provoking things, and I have tomorrow off, and I haven't gotten to really sit down with a journal and really just think about this. So I think tomorrow that's what I'm gonna do. I have a journal all picked out. It's over in my little coffee corner over there, my little window seat. So I think I'm going to pick out my journal and I'm going to start working on these prompts. The first thing she has you do is make your candle. So you have like your ritual candle, which is supposed to kind of get you through your 28 days. So you are on day 7, so I'm falling a little behind. I've been trying to take a look at these at least every day and just kind of think about it, wrap my head around it, even if I can't necessarily put it down yet. So I definitely want to, think about this some more tomorrow and try to journal this down and kind of really get it on paper. So I think that would really help in making the experience really, really awesome. Oh, I didn't say yet, but this was actually gifted to me by my boyfriend, which is really awesome and very sweet. I've always wanted to do this, like every year she announces that she's doing it, and I always want to go ahead and do it, but it's never the right timing, and I don't have the funds to sign up. And this year she did a Patreon discount, which is very lovely of her, and I really appreciate it because I am one of her patrons and I love seeing her stuff pop up every month, and I love just seeing her stuff. She's very inspiring. This is by Molly Roberts. I don't know if I've said that, but she has a YouTube channel, and she's probably one of the people who've inspired me the most in my journey. I'm really inspired by her. I've been really inspired by Dee Chapman, which is very sad. I'm still very sad about that. Molly Roberts, Dee Chapman, who else? There's a whole bunch of other people. Jenna from White Witch Parlor. Pretty much, if you are interested in kind of what has helped me learn, and what basically where I do my research and how I've gotten this far, I do have a playlist, on my channel. I believe it should be on my main page. If not, I will go ahead and fix that right after this so you guys can see that playlist, but it should be right up towards the top, and it should be called Wicca Videos I Love, or Wicca and Spiritual Videos that I Love, something to that effect, because it is just kind of a general spirituality thing. It's not necessarily just Wicca, but Molly Roberts has a huge amount of videos in that playlist, so if you're looking for someone else good to follow, check her out because you will not regret it. She's wonderful. I have a very dark aesthetic, despite the color that you see behind you, or behind me rather. Despite all the color, I do usually dress in all black or blacks and grays, so seeing Molly's aesthetic is definitely a huge change. It's all, you know, pink and colors and sparkles and rainbows and wonderfulness, and it's really cool to look at. So if you're ever just feeling kind of down and you just want to look at something bright and colorful, this this is wonderful. I love everything she makes. But she does a lot of really cool like chill videos too, which are really fun to kind of listen to while you do other stuff. She does kind of a meditative, spiritual poetry sort of thing, which is really cool, and I dig it. But yes, so I will have to rejoin you next week and tell you how I'm going with this once I've made a bit more progress. I have not had any crazy revelations yet, but I still have 21 days left to go. So we will see how that goes. But yes, I'm hoping once I really get to spend time with this and look at this and play around with it, I'm hoping this will yield some better results. It is also a really cool art exercise, so I am hoping that once I get to kind of really play around with this, I can have some fun. I do want to share some fun stuff with you guys that I have made, based on kind of the inspiration of that. So let me go. Okay. So I did get some things this time around kind of in preparation for this exercise and to kind of make sure I had some really special little things to kind of have in my space, because I definitely wanted to make use of it and really get the most out of it I can, because like I said, usually I do not have the funds to enroll in something like this. Not that it's expensive, but forking over, you know, money for something extra is not always something people can do. So I wanted to really make sure I get out of it what I can. I do, if I like it, plan on signing up again, because I think that would be very fun. It's always nice to have a nice refresher. But anyway, so the task for the first week was to find and love and decorate and anoint your own special candle. And this candle is essentially your temple for the next 28 days. This is your very special 28 days of beauty candle. So I went on a mission. Me and my friend went to Target, and I went and I looked at the candles, and I saw this one, and it was beautiful. It has this like beautiful like bubbly glass, and it's like this really like greenish color, and I smelled it, and it smells fantastic. if I remember correctly, the scent of this is Emerald Amazon, and it smells amazing. And it smells exactly, this candle basically smells like the feeling that I want to get out of this. It's crisp and refreshed and bright and sparkly, and I love it. And this is exactly, this is the scent. So I basically took it home. I did have a bunch of candles decorating the room with this, and then my candle promptly imploded upon itself, and I realized that was a terrible idea. So I took the crystals out and I remelted it. But basically what I did is I dripped a bunch of corresponding spell candle things onto the top. So the base of the candle is white, and I dripped black for protection, because I always use protection when I do spells. That sounds funny. I didn't mean it like that. Always use protection, kids, when you do spells. So I did black spell candle for protection, purple for spirituality and psychic connection, and green for prosperity and abundance. So I have sprinkled those up top, and it created this stony gray color, which I actually kind of like. It's slightly green, but it's mostly gray. And then I have decorated it with a purple cord. I have a little key that says, sorry, a little key that says dream on it, and this is basically symbolic of Kate. She is my main goddess that I work with, and so I definitely wanted to include her in my journey. So I have that on there, and it's just cute. It says dream, and that's very just cute and fun, and I just wanted to put that on there. And then I have this little wrapped sea glass that was given to me by a friend of mine, and it's got the little crescent moon on it. So I wanted to put those on it, make it fancy. So I have my special candle. So a very special candle cannot be lit by just any lighter. So I have a really badass lighter. And this was made by White Mountain Crystals. Again, I went over there and I went absolutely crazy. So I have my fancy schmancy lighter with my little moon and these little, I think they're raccoons. I'm not sure. I think they're raccoons, but they're very angry, and it's hilarious. And then I have my blue calcite and my black tourmaline. Black tourmaline for protection, and blue calcite is good for calming during meditations. So this is my fancy lighter, my fancy candle. And I also went on a mad Target spree while I was out getting my candle, and I got some new incense because Target came out with a really cool line of incense and candles and all sorts of cool stuff based on your zodiac and based on the elements, which is really neat. It's all black, so of course I loved it. But they smell so good, and they come with the little bowl that you can put it in. But it's a little jar of cones, and the scent is smoked teak wood. It's very, very neat, very fun. And I have gone ahead and I have painted a little portrait of Hecate. She's got her snake and her crown and her moons and her torch, and I have done her up in some lovely purple robes and metallic gold paint and very much glitter. This was also very much inspired by Molly because the glitter. But yes, so I am definitely very excited to play around with my 28 Days of Beauty and see how it goes. And I think that's everything I've got for today, guys. So I am going to have a lovely day off tomorrow, and I'm going to play around with this. And I will see you next week, and I will let you know how it's going as I go ahead and do my meditation. And actually, I'm going to read the little synopsis at the top. For obvious reasons, I don't want to read the prompt because I feel like that's not, if I read all the prompts to you, it's not really fair to the people who paid for this, and it's not fair to her because she put a lot of work into this, so I don't want to spoil it for people. So, anyway, I'm going to read the synopsis. I'm not going to read the prompts. So, welcome, Beauty Seeker. This guide will lead us through an entire lunar cycle of beauty exploration. You may wish to formalize this practice with the use of candles, stones, and altar time, or simply carry the questions in your heart as you move through the world. This collection of prompts may also yield magical results when paired with journal and art journal practices. Enjoy the journey and walk with beauty. So there you go. Alright, well, that is all I have for today, guys. I will see you next week. As always, if you'd like to keep up with me in between uploads, you can follow me at my Instagrams, which will be down below. I have my YouTube specific Instagram and my regular main one, which I use more often. So I will have those linked down below, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.